Hey guys, long time no see. This is Alex from A&R Design, and today we're going to review the 9mm Rush, or the FN9 Rush TI, and the FN Catch 22 TI. These are the two new suppressors from FN, 1 and 22 LR. It's rated for 17 HMR, 22 mag, everything you want to put through it. And this is the 9mm can. It's pretty self-explanatory what these cans are for. They're not hyper quiet cans like you see in the movies, or if you put some hush ammo through it, they will be pretty quiet. But we're gonna be putting standard velocity ammo through it today, 124 grain NATO Blazer brass, and I've got some Wolf Match 40 grain, which I really like as a 22. I use it for my TAC trainers. But it's really reliable 22 ammo, so we'll get a lot of consistencies out of both of these guns. These cans aren't made for silence. These are suppressors that are born to give you a more enjoyable suppressed pistol shooting experience. I say that because they aren't a flow-through can, but they are a higher flow pistol can with a really low back pressure. And they did this because if you've ever shot a low flow pistol can, you'll notice on your iPro, in your face, you'll get speckled with debris, blowback, burnt powder, lubricant. Everything that's in your gun comes back at your face. These cans don't do that. You do not get that back pressure. You don't get all that back pressure that can cause your gun to cycle incorrectly. And I think one of the biggest pluses with this is that you really don't need to spring your gun for the suppressor. So I don't know if you've ever built out like a Gucci Glock with a threaded barrel, and you're all ready, and you buy this pistol can, and you stick it on your gun, and you pull the trigger. It goes bang, but it doesn't cycle. A lot of times you have to put custom weight springs in or aftermarket weight springs in to get that balance right, so you get a properly cycling suppressed pistol. You don't need to do that with these cans. Obviously you don't need to do that with this can. It's a fixed barrel, but yeah, 9mm. Here's a 509. I don't have a 502 22 host from FN to show in this, so I'm sorry, FN. But at least we have a 509 Tactical M here, and we'll walk through both suppressors, and we'll get it going. So one thing we're not gonna do today is get out other cans and compare these to other cans, because I can tell you there's a clear delineation between these suppressors and a super low flow quiet can. So again, it's not really the point. Super lubed up Beretta. Getting a little bit of splashback, a little tiny bit of blowback, but I also really lubed this Beretta up because they're a little finicky in the cold. It's really super quiet. It is a 22 can. Got a stuck case. Love how safe this gun is too. These guns are like 1,000-round guns. The frames start to crack at 1,000 rounds, so having a suppressor that's not a super high blowback can, it's kind of nice. Well, Catch 22, pretty nice titanium can. Really happy with it. It's not blowing crap in my face. It's special. All right, 9mm Rush. Well, my dot's not zeroed. Before this video, I had to put a new battery in this dot. Didn't zero it. It's pretty good. I'm getting a tiny bit, a couple things here and there. blasting back through, but not your typical to the face. Let's see where my rounds are going at distance. Can't even see it. Had a couple failures to extract, but I could be riding the slide. It is cold. Not so bad. I'm getting hit right in the cheek with a couple things, but again, like I said, it's really not terrible comparatively to a low flow can. And this is the 124s, so they're not like super quiet, but they're quieter. I got some 147s in here we can try. I think they're 147s. There's still some pretty good fouling in the system. Like my magazine has a lot of like burnt powder residue in it. When we did the dagger review, we put the SIG SRD 9 on it, my whole face was like covered and I had to clean my glasses often. Lube your guns. I lubed the 22. Why didn't I lube the 509? Hell yeah. How's my face? Is there schmutz on it? So chamber's a little dirty right now. Could be some blowback pushing back through the system, fouls the chamber, had some failures to feed, you know, forced them in, but you can see the compressed burnt carbon in between the case wall and the chamber. Blew it out, don't have a brush on me. That time I didn't have issues with cycling. I'd love to zero this pistol and accuracy test it. Obviously thought it'd be a little bit more zeroed than I am right now. It's not horrible. The gun, not too worried about the zero on it. Again, we're just reviewing the can, how it sounds. It's consistent, like dirty chamber, really dry gun. It's wintertime, should have lubed the hell out of it. Cleaned the chamber before doing this. But in general, the suppressor is running really, really well. It has a pretty cool booster system in there. A little bit different than your normal booster. You can go online and check out the specs on their booster. It was a little bit fouled. Feels better now that I pulled on it a few times. Really cool system though. They really seal the hell out of that booster, so you're not getting a lot of escaping gases here, which is really nice. I mean, all in all, the inside of the gun looks really, really, really clean comparatively to running a really low flow can. Low flow can, you'd have a lot of water and carbon and you'd see striations from that blowback pushing everything back through the gun. And you really don't see that here. I think more of the blowback that I'm getting is burnt particulate getting blown back as the gun unlocks and it's coming through the system. It's the more harder material stuff, the burnt powder coming back through and blowing out between the slide and the frame. I think that's really inevitable when you have a pistol suppressor. That's gonna happen. It's unavoidable. I think that this can definitely makes it a much more enjoyable gun to shoot, because maybe 1 or 2 rounds per mag, I'm getting a little bit blowback in my mustache area here. You know, the harder impact stuff, not just the spray. You know, my optic is a little dirty in the front right now, but again, it's not horrible. You know, for how many rounds we put through the gun in a dry gun, if this was a different can, this whole RMR would be completely coated. And it just had some dry carbon on it. It wasn't terrible. So I mean, all in all, like this can's a really nice can. If I was gonna shoot a pistol can, if you want something that's scary quiet, then you can build something out to be scary quiet. But if you wanna shoot 9mm, like I live in a neighborhood, and I wanna shoot a pistol and get some reps in, granted, you're getting more felt recoil with a suppressor, you got more upfront weight, But if you want to shoot, have a little bit more discretion to your neighbors, this would be definitely a great can for that. If you want to put a lot of rounds through a suppressed pistol, not foul up the system, not beat it up too much, and have a really comfortable can to shoot, I think this would be the can for you. All right, so that's a wrap on the Catch-22 Ti and the FN Rush 9 Ti. Really cool cans, titanium outer sleeves. They're fairly lightweight for how big and volumetric they are. The 22's pretty comparable. I think the dead air mask that I have is quieter on the Bobcat, but this is definitely a more enjoyable suppressor to shoot on the Bobcat. Very, very consistent cycling. Was having some dirty chamber issues with the 509 today. That's probably my fault for not lubing and cleaning the gun before doing the video. But in general, the suppressor performed. The booster is running really nice. It's not fouled up. If you guys have experience running 9mm cans on 9mm pistols, a lot of times the boosters get super fouled up really quickly. We did a dagger video with the SRD 9mm from SIG, and that was a clean booster before we started the video. And halfway through the video, the booster was so fouled up, we were having malfunctions with the gun. So having this sealed booster system is pretty rad. The booster has no fouling. After 200 rounds, it's running fantastic still. The gun's a little dirty and dry, which is slowing down the cyclic rate and slowing down the slide. So I'm having a couple battery issues, just a little smack in the ass. It's not having failures to extract though. It's having failures to seat because of a dirty chamber. Not a big deal, not the suppressor's fault. Inside the guns, obviously this one is a fixed barrel, but inside the 509, there's very little fouling. It looks like a normal day at the range with an unsuppressed pistol. So all in all, I think if you're looking for a can to run on a 9mm pistol like the 509, or a 22 can to run on pretty much anything, where you're gonna get a really enjoyable experience, a lighter weight can. And again, they're not super quiet. Like, I recommend still wear ear pro when you shoot 9mm through a suppressor, unless you have like some super slow, heavy loaded stuff. It can still mess you up. I did put some 147 standard velocity through this without ear pro on when I first got the can, and my ears weren't too happy. So again, you're not going for movie quiet with these cans, but you're getting a suppressor that gives an enjoyable experience on the range for suppressed pistols. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment.